In this video, I play Terraria, but the twist is, every single chest is randomized. This means I could either get amazing godlike loot, or I could get something terrible. How far will I get? I guess you have to watch to find out. Alright, so the only rule I have for this challenge is I can only use tools found from chests. I can only use armor found from chests, and this is why I don't have any of the starting tools. I go ahead and open my first chest, and I find myself a treasure bag from King Slime. I use one, and I get the best weapon in the game, the slime gun. I then started heading left. I started collecting loot as I was going along until I eventually died. I then took all the resources I got and I made a makeshift base that, as usual, I will never use. I then go find a sky island, I loot it, I get some stardust leggings. Heading straight into the cave, I was hoping to find some more chests, as that's the only way I can get loot, until it dawned on me I didn't have a pickaxe, so let's just say I had to get a little bit creative. I ended up liking this bomb strategy so much, I used it to get every single life crystal. I think you get the point. I came across a mushroom biome, and I was really disappointed with this one. I didn't find a single chest, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll understand the standard I hold these biomes to. So no loot? This was disappointing. After that, I made my way over to the ocean on the right side. Went down, and I came across a sea chest, and this is where I get my first pickaxe, and then I died. With all of my newfound loot, I was happy to go take on the Eater of Worlds. I had to take on the boss, I haven't done it at this point. So I headed down into the Corruption Caverns, and I destroyed my first orb, and conveniently put together the second and third. The only thing to say about this fight is the very obvious, and how I was extremely overpowered, and this was incredibly easy. It was really interesting using a piranha gun though. In the past 10 years of me playing this game, I'd never used it once. And even though I had no use for the loot, I decided I was going to fight it again, but this time, I was going to play the tune. Right after that, I decided to go onto a boss rampage. I started heading straight towards the dungeon. It was time for Skeletron. Skeletron was a bit of a weird one. I didn't really have to do too much during this fight. I guess that's what makes this challenge very easy. Either way, let's spawn him in. As I said, Skeletron was easy. Right after this, I carried on with my monstrous rampage to take down every single boss, and I started heading straight down to hell. It was Wall of Flesh time. On my way down, I kept picking up a bit more loot and using the caves to get down there quicker. I was very confident in the loot that I had. Although I had never used some of the weapons I have right now before, let's be honest, I had some pretty good gear. Now that I was in the underworld, it was time to look for a voodoo demon. I got very lucky. Usually it takes me hours to even find one, but this time I found it in under a minute. So once I got the doll, I wasted no time and I spawned in the wall. I knew I had no chance of losing. I promise, I didn't lose. I just chose to leave the fight. After that small little incident, I wanted to make myself feel better about voluntarily leaving the fight with the Wall of Flesh, and I took on the eye. Obviously it stood no chance, so I thought maybe Queen Bee could. So next up was the jungle. I found myself in a beehive, so of course, I summoned the Queen Bee, and well, let's just say, it didn't stand a chance. But this did bring back up my confidence, so I headed straight back down to hell. Wall of Flesh again. And while I was flying around waiting for a voodoo demon to spawn, I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, and well...